Financial liability investigations of property loss, or FLIPLs, are one of the most organizationally stressful things that can happen. First, it often means that equipment is lost or seriously damaged. Second, it means that there is a chance that someone's wallet is about to get lighter. Third, it stresses the trust that soldiers have in each other. And fourth, it means that a soldier will be assigned to investigation duty, taking them away from the mission. But you can't be afraid of FLIPLs. I can't stress this enough. FLIPLs are useful to maintain good order and discipline, as well as to protect taxpayers against loss. You'll be fine if you follow regulations and do your job. Let's start by going over the legal standard to hold someone financially responsible. Now, the terms and examples I will be using are simplified for ease of understanding, so if you have questions, please see your legal advisor, S4, or local JAG officer. Generally, there are two questions that must be answered in order to determine liability. The first question is if the loss was a result of negligence or willful misconduct. There are three types of negligence. First, simple negligence. This is when someone acts or fails to act in a reasonable manner. Simple negligence is surprisingly common. As an example, if a mechanic is welding a seam on a truck, but does not check thoroughly for fuel leaks beforehand and the truck catches fire, the mechanic would be guilty of simple negligence. A mechanic with common sense would have checked carefully for leaks beforehand, but the key here is that some level of expertise is needed. So if the soldier does not have the requisite expertise to do the task assigned, that will be taken into account in the investigation, and may lead to a determination that it was not negligence. Second is gross negligence. Gross negligence is less common. As an example, if a mechanic is welding a seam on a fuel tank and it explodes, this is gross negligence. Anyone, even those with no mechanical experience whatsoever, would understand that welding a fuel tank without proper precautions is a bad idea. Third is presumed negligence. Presumed negligence is when a loss is attributed to someone when you can't know how the loss occurred, but no one else could have been responsible. For example, let's say on Monday night, a tool room is locked up by an NCO who has the only key for the room, and Tuesday morning, all the tools are gone. But there are no signs of break-in or other misconduct. The NCO in charge of the tool room could be presumed negligent. You can't prove that the NCO took the tools, but you have ruled out all other potential causes, and the NCO had exclusive access and control over the tools. Finally, willful misconduct is when loss can be attributed to deliberate action taken specifically to cause the loss. So, going back to our wayward welder, if he had decided to pour gas over a truck and then light it on fire on purpose, this would be willful misconduct. His action was intentional and it was meant to destroy or damage the property. The second question we must consider is proximate cause. In any case of loss, there's a chain of actions that take place prior to the loss occurring. These actions taken as a whole can cause the loss, but what matters the most is the steps directly prior to the loss. For example, if a soldier is driving a Humvee with no license, no seatbelt, no protective gear, then the Humvee gets destroyed by a lightning strike, the soldier is not at fault. Though the soldier was negligent, the lightning strike would have happened regardless of how the soldier was using the equipment. In other words, negligent use of the Humvee did not cause the lightning, unless there is some sort of vengeful Sergeant Major God up there. So those are the two questions that lead to liability. Of course, answering these questions in a real investigation will be very difficult. But what it does illustrate is that property accountability is about more than just paperwork. It is also about correct supervision. Here are the key takeaways from this video. Number 1. There are three types of negligence: simple, gross, and presumed. Number 2. Willful misconduct is not negligence, but an intentional act. Number 3. Liability requires both a neglectful or intentional act and proximate cause. If you enjoyed this video, please click on the subscribe button. And until next time, remember, the Army goes rolling along.